welcome here. If you're new here, my name is Michaela. I'm a wife, a mom, and a knitter from British Columbia, Canada, and this is Galanthus Knits. Hi, welcome back. This is my episode about Flock Fiber Festival. If you don't know what that is a fiber festival that takes place in Seattle, Washington in August. This was the second year that they did it, and I wasn't able to go last year because I had just given birth, but now my daughter is 1, so my husband and her and I went down to Seattle for the weekend and attended, her and I attended the festival. And it was wonderful. It was really wonderful. On Friday, the 9th of August, there were classes being held in the convention center on all sorts of different things. Sari Nordlund was doing a class on cables. I attended a class on fiber contents. And so it was just all classes being run on Friday. And then Saturday and Sunday, they had classes, talks, market stalls, all sorts of things going on throughout both days. So I only went to the Saturday market because I wanted to spend Sunday doing some other things in Seattle with my husband and daughter. And we met up with a friend who I met on a trip 9 years ago. So, and she's from Oregon. So she came up to Seattle. I went down to Seattle and we met each other there. So anyway, it was wonderful. It was exhausting. It was overwhelming. It was just more than I could have ever expected. And yeah, I don't know how else to describe it. As you can see, I'm wearing my Flock t-shirt. I did pick up this shirt. Oh, sorry. I didn't give her attention for 3 seconds. I did pick up this shirt while at Flock. And yeah, I really like it. I like the design and the logo for this year. They did a different design from last year's festival. So sweet, oh my gosh. I did find it quite overwhelming. Be Real just went off. Guess I gotta do my Be Real. Okay, Tivoli, come here. So I'll first talk a little bit more in detail about the experience at Flock, and then I will show you what I bought at the end of the video. So Friday was the class day, and I just had one class in the morning, so I had a class from 10 till 12, and you pay separately for the class than you do for like your market ticket. So my class was the fiber deep dive class, and we just went into all sorts of details about fiber making, the process of it, the difference between sheep breeds, alpaca breeds, what sort of yarn and what sort of wool and what sort of fibers are good for making yarn, are good for knitting, and what can be used for other things. Like we were talking about different hairs and different wools on the sheep, and some of it can be used for spinning into yarn, and some of it can be used for like weaving into rugs and things like that. And so not all wool is equal in value and in the way that you can work with it. So that was really interesting. We talked about difference between animal fibers and plant fibers, and then synthetic fibers, and superwash versus non-superwash. It was a really good deep dive. We talked about different spinning techniques and processing plants and mills, and just more details about like what you're working with and how it can affect the way that your garment lays. The instructor had a lot of different samples knitted up, like sweaters and shawls and things like that you can kind of sift through and feel and see how it works. Yeah, she had us feel all sorts of different types of yarn with different contents. And she was telling us that even like year after year, the same sheep will produce different types of wool, and farmers will have to give their sheep a really consistent lifestyle in order to get a really consistent wool, because a trauma that happens in a sheep's life will actually show up in the wool. So yeah, she was saying that you can tell based on the fleece that you receive whether that sheep has been through something that's been hard. And I thought that was really interesting. Like it's kind of in the line of thinking of your body keeping the score, and not only in humans, but also in animals, where like we hold traumas in places in our body, and it comes out in that way. And actually, it reminded me of like when I gave birth to my daughter. About 7 months later, I got my hair cut, and my hairdresser said even if I hadn't told her that I had a baby, she could tell, because she saw where the growth was during my pregnancy, like the hair was different. So I thought that was very interesting. So the same thing happens with sheep. Like you can tell when the wool, I won't be able to tell, but she said she was able to tell the wool quality and if something has happened in that sheep's life. So that was really interesting. She also had us do this activity where we had to make like a fiber card and match the different fibers to the places on the card. So this is what that looks like. It's, so for example, this third red thread here is 75% Corriedale and 25% Gotland, and I had to match which yarn belonged on that section and put it in. So that's quite good. I can feel all the different yarns. Some of them, the plies are also different. So some of them are 2-ply, 3-ply, 4-ply. We've got a few chainettes here as well, and a boucle yarn. So you can really get to see the different, how the different fiber contents make up a different type of yarn, and how they are spun and worked also create different results. So that's very interesting. This one is 100% merino chainette, and it's very soft. Yeah, so that class was really interesting. That was the only class that I did because the classes were a little bit expensive, so I only wanted to just pay for the one class. And then for the rest of the day on Friday, my husband and daughter and I took a ferry to Bainbridge Island so that we could visit La Mercerie, which is the knitting shop that created Flock Fiber Festival. And obviously there were knitters everywhere, all over Seattle, but definitely Bainbridge Island. You can't walk anywhere without seeing someone with a hand knitted something that they're wearing, and then also with needles in their hand. So I thought that was really cool. I felt like the knitters took over Seattle and Bainbridge, and it was just cool to be part of that. But anyways, we did go to La Mercerie, and I bought some things there, which I'll show you afterwards. And then Saturday was the market day. I had our daughter for half of the day, and then I passed her off to my husband at lunch, and he had her for the rest of the day so that I could enjoy the market by myself. He went for a bike ride around Seattle in the morning without her when I had her. So yes, that was really nice to bring her along, but then also have some time without her at the market. And it was wonderful. I talked to so many people. I met Sari Nordland, which I didn't expect to do. I thought she'd be like crowded with tons of people because she's just very well known in the knitting world. I also met Emily Curtis from the Gently Chaotix Knit podcast, and I was quite shy speaking to her. She was the first person I saw, so I was walking into the convention center. She complimented my vest, and then I said, "Oh, I watch your videos on YouTube," and it was a little bit. I think I was awkward. Maybe she doesn't think it was awkward, but I think I was quite awkward. But it was really nice to meet her. She was lovely. Yeah, and I just saw so many people that I recognized from just the online community. I didn't talk to everybody because I just didn't want to bombard anyone or make them feel awkward, but it was really nice to just recognize the world of knitting and recognize people and recognize brands and recognize like different stuff that I haven't seen in person before. So that was really cool. I did do a walk around to try to like plan out what I was going to buy later. I didn't want to buy anything right off the bat. And I'm glad I did that because I think I made wiser decisions after doing that. It was also very hard to navigate the stalls pushing the stroller. So yeah, I didn't buy anything until after my husband picked up our daughter. And yeah, they had sheep, like live sheep there at the festival as well so that you could see them, and different talks. I attended a talk on sustainability in knitting. That was really interesting. Yeah, overall, just a really good experience. The Seattle Convention Center Summit Building is really beautiful. It's a new building and it kind of almost doesn't fit in with the rest of Seattle because Seattle's very grunge and the Summit Building is just very polished. It feels very polished. But it was beautiful. There was an area where you could, I don't know, it was like there's an escalator, but then stairs going all the way up, and all the stairs had like cushions on them. It was hard to describe, but I'll see if I can post a picture or something. And I sat up there and knitted and just like watched Seattle from the top. And it was really, really cool. It was the first time that I had been in Seattle for over 10 years. I used to go to like youth conferences and stuff there when I was in youth group. So I want to say the last time that I went to Seattle was when I was 14 or 15, which was half my life ago because I'm 28 now. So if I was 14, ooh, yeah. Yeah, so crazy. My battery is about to die. I should probably change it. There we go. That's better. So I talked to a lot of people. Some people had come from quite far distance. Some people from New York City and Texas, Chicago, one woman was from, and a lot from Seattle, of course. Some from Oregon as well. I didn't meet any other Canadians, but I'm sure there were some there. And then I didn't go to the market on Sunday. I spent the day in Seattle with my husband and daughter, and we met up with a friend as well. So that was my time at Flock. I will now show you everything I bought, and it was a lot. And I did give myself a set amount of money that I was going to spend, and I did spend under it, so I'm glad that I didn't go over. And I went in with plans and then wiggle room. So I will show you. Besides this t-shirt, I also got the Flock sticker. And the Flock tote bag, which has all of the yarn and things that I bought at Flock inside of it right now. It is the biggest tote bag I have ever owned in my entire life, and there's a zipper on the top. So, wonderful. There's also a pocket inside. The straps are sturdy. It sits up on its own. This bag is very high quality. So first I will say what I bought at Mercerie because I went there first before the market. I bought 4 skeins of this yarn. It's the Albertine. It's a French yarn. The whole label is in French. I haven't translated it yet. It's 90% wool, 10% silk. I was looking specifically for yarn that would work for some baby knits that I'm doing. I wanted to knit the Bella Baby Cardigan, I think it's called, by Holme Samsøe. And so I picked this one out because it's so squishy and soft, probably because of the silk and the merino mix. Actually, I'm not sure if it's merino, it just says wool. But it feels a lot like merino. So I bought 4 balls of that, and then I casted on the cardigan while I was there in Seattle. So it just has this beautiful kind of petal or leaf motif, like a lace motif on the yoke, and then it's just kind of regular cardigan after that. So this is for my friend's baby, my friend who lives in England, and she has a baby girl due in November. Yeah, so this is the color Chocolat Chaud, so hot chocolate, I think. Yeah, hot chocolate. And it's brown, but it's also kind of a purplish brown. So when I first looked at it, I thought it was kind of mauve, and then I read the label and I was like, okay, it's meant to be brown, but it's definitely like a purple-ish brown, and it's working up beautifully. It is so soft, so beautiful. I've never seen this yarn before, and I really, really like it. Also at Mercerie, I picked up Knit This by Veronica Lindbergh, also known as Kutavakika online. And I wanted to order this book when it first came out, but I was having a hard time getting it shipped to Canada. So I'm really glad that I found it at the Mercerie. I bought the last one that they had in the shop at that time, but I don't know if they had any more behind in the storeroom or whatever. So I'm really happy about this. I love Veronica Lindbergh's patterns, and she's just such a beautiful person as well if you watch her videos online. Some of the sweaters and cardigans in this book are just gorgeous. That's the Ivy sweater. And then the one that's really piquing my interest, although it is brioche and I've never knitted brioche before, is the Honey cardigan. Just gorgeous. So yeah, I'm really happy that I picked up this book. And the last thing that I bought at La Mercerie was 5 buttons. These little rabbit buttons for baby knits as well. So yeah, all 5 of them have that little rabbit on there, and I thought that would be really cute for a baby cardigan. So that was everything I got at La Mercerie, and now on to the actual flock haul. So of course I had to pick up a copy of Sari Nordland's book, Softly Timeless Knits. And she signed it for me. She was at the La Mercerie booth and signing books, and there wasn't a lineup when I went by. I went by late, so I think the bulk of the people had gone through already. Yeah, so there's a little personalized note in there and just some beautiful, beautiful patterns. I'm not so much a cable knitter. I know she's really well known for her cables, and I find cables a little bit annoying to work up, but I love lace. She does have some lace patterns in here as well, and then some basic stuff. But some of the cable stuff is actually really calling to me, so I might actually embark on that endeavor at some point in the future. I have done cables before, I just don't really enjoy doing them. Beautiful pair of socks. Yeah, there's a lot to explore in this book. Yeah, I think it will be a really nice addition to my knitting book library. So those are the only 2 books I got from from Seattle. So the Veronica Lindbergh one and then the Sari Nordland one. Okay, and then before I get to yarn, there's just a few little things that I bought that I'll just talk about really quickly. I bought one of those cord sets. I don't know exactly what they're called, but the ones that you put on the needle so that you can try on your work. So they're in this tin. Slip cord set. That's what it says on the back. Yes, so I bought a slip cord set. And I think that will save me a lot of time when I'm knitting up a sweater and need to try it on. And I don't have to slip all my stitches onto like a stitch holder or something. So I was very happy to find that. I bought a little button, 1 button. It's from Woolly Moss Roots, and it is an Oregon Coast driftwood button. I paid $4 for it, which is maybe a lot of money to spend on a piece of wood that they've drilled holes into, but I just thought it was a really nice keepsake from the area and something kind of rustic to put on my knits. I eventually want to be able to kind of make a few of my own buttons. My husband works for an arborist, and he works with a lot of wood, and he makes a lot of stuff. He's made my raised veggie beds. He's making me a flower stand so I can sell flowers outside the house along the road, and he's made all sorts of things. So I was asking him recently if we could like just chop some pieces of wood, kind of sand them down, and then put holes in them, and he's like, yeah, that'll be super easy. So I want him to show me how to do it so that I can start making my own buttons. But this has given me a little bit of inspiration for different woods that I could use. I bought 3 stickers. 2 of them are for one of my friends, and then one of them is for myself. So these are, oh, where are these from? Okay, these are from Denim Rain, and this one is the one I bought for myself. So just 4 sheep lined up. And then I bought 2 for my friend Ren. You would have seen her in a previous clip. Her and I meet up every Wednesday to knit together in the evenings after when my husband puts our daughter to bed. And she crochets, I knit. But these ones were just calling to her, or calling to me on her behalf. So this is the first one. It's a shoe in a sandal with some ferns growing along the side or popping along the side. And then this one I think she'll get a kick out of. It says, "Stitch, you've got to be knitting me with this frogging mess." So I think she'll really like those. I also bought her a little skein of yarn, which I'll show you later when I go through the yarn. And then the last sort of like extra thing that wasn't yarn that I bought was a colorwork card deck. So I think it was Hannah G Knits who I saw speaking about these decks. She bought one. I don't remember where it was that she bought one. I think she bought the spring deck, and I did see that one there. But I bought the Rhinebeck Doodle card deck. I've never been to Rhinebeck. I don't know if I'll ever go to Rhinebeck because it's quite far from me. But I loved the designs on these cards. So if you don't know what these are, they are colorwork cards. So to give you ideas on how to make different motifs for colorwork. So there's all sorts of charts here. Rhinebeck apples, orchard trees, pumpkins, leaves. There's all sorts of different leaves. Florals. Let's see if I can show you one. Oh, music notes. See if I can show you one that actually looks like what it's meant to look like. Oh, socks. Here we go. So, yeah, so the chart looks like that. And it just shows you how to knit the color work for that motif. And there's all sorts of ones, and you kind of just, for designing your own color work stuff, you can pull different cards, and it kind of, there's an instruction card to like show you how to get the best result. Ooh, this kind of shows you what it could look like. Anyways, I thought that was really fun. They had loads of different decks, but I just thought the ones that they were featuring on the front of the Rhinebeck card deck were kind of up my alley, so I picked that one up. Okay, and now on to yarn. So first I need to talk about the plans that I had for yarn. I would like to knit the Stella Quilt cushion by Laura Penrose for my friend Elena, who is getting married next summer, and I'm a bridesmaid in her wedding, and she has chosen such fun wedding colors. She's an illustrator based in Paris. I will put her handle. I think I've shouted her out in a different video before because she's made mugs and stuff too. She made a mug that I was using in a previous video. Anyway, she's an illustrator, a freelance illustrator based in Paris, France. She's American originally, but I met her when we were both living in England. So it's kind of all over the place. Anyway, she's one of my closest friends. I'm a bridesmaid in her wedding, and I just thought it would be really fun if I could make something for her and her fiance to enjoy as a wedding gift that's also hand knitted. So I couldn't really think of too much besides like blankets and little home decor stuff that would be something that both of them could enjoy, because I'm obviously not going to knit a sweater just for her. I want it to be like for both of them. I've done like sets of mittens before, but it doesn't get super cold in Paris. I guess cold enough, but not like, yeah. I just thought it would be fun to have something in their house. So I want to do the Stella Quilt cushion for them in their wedding colors. So I will post a picture of her inspiration for bridesmaids dresses, and this is kind of what I was going for. This style, this pop of color. The wedding is also in France, so I don't want to be traveling with something too big. So I think I'll make the cushion cover and then perhaps see if I can purchase cushion or the insides when I'm in France so that I can easily transport the cover with me. If I were to knit like a blanket or something, it would be just a lot of things to bring in my suitcase when I go. Anyway, that was my idea. So these are the yarns that I bought for that. Whew, okay, I was looking for DK. and I found it. First, I will show you that I bought 3 minis in this gorgeous green color. They are DK Merino, but they've lost their label. So they were from 40 Winks Fiber. I don't know exactly the colorway because the label wasn't with them. And yeah, so this will probably be one of the little triangles, or I don't know exactly what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to have a lot of scraps left over from this project once I'm finished, and that's fine because I can make something else, maybe something fun and scrappy for my daughter, or I don't know. So I bought more than I needed, I think, which will be ideal because then I can do scrappy things with it. So yeah, these are the skeins from 40 Winks Fiber. Next, I bought 3 blues from, it says Mini Dye House. Oh yeah, Serial Knitters. This is very small. Serial Knitters Underground. So that was the brand. I bought 3 of these. It doesn't say the color on the label, but it's a nice, beautiful blue color. I did a second shade of green that is slightly different from the first, just because I thought that would be kind of fun to do a little bit more of each color. So this is the Coats & Co. Superwash Merino DK Mini. This one was also Superwash Merino. Yeah, this one was also Superwash Merino. I bought 3 of those. This is the color Pistachio. They had a lot of different greens, and I thought Pistachio was kind of the most fitting towards her wedding look. I bought 3 more mini skeins at the same place, Coats & Co. Superwash Merino DK in the color Light Peach. So, Light Peach. And then I bought a skein from Sincere Sheep. They are based in Napa Valley. Is that in California? I want to say that's California. And this is a DK, obviously. All of them are. And this is 60% Rambouillet wool, 25% Huacaya alpaca, which I learned about in my fiber class, and 15% silk. So the colorway is Mrs. Fisher. And actually, this is my colorway because I'm the yellow bridesmaid. So I'll be wearing something similar to this color for her wedding, which I love. Yellow is my favorite color. And then I bought a skein from Fuzzy Peach Fibers, which this was a very popular booth. There was massive lineups, and I kind of picked the last of this skein at the end. There wasn't that much left in the booth. It was very picked through. So this is the Ethereal DK Peach Moonstone colorway. It's baby alpaca, silk, and cashmere. This one is by far the softest one in the bundle, and that's because of the cashmere. And then this one was a bit of a wild card. I think I might use it in her cushion, but I might not. I'll do all the other ones, the other squares or triangles first, and then I'll decide if I want to actually use this one for that or something else. But this is Explorer Knits and Fibers, which was also a very, very popular booth. I don't know if you can tell on camera, but it's got lots of kind of specks and variation of the different colors that I've chosen in this, but the kind of main color in this maybe doesn't quite fit. I'm not sure if it fits yet, but I thought I could try it out. I wanted to try out working with Explorer Knits and Fibers because I've heard such good things about their yarns. So yeah, this is their Rockies DK 100% superwash merino in the color Bainbridge Island, which I went to on Friday. So that's exciting. So those are all of the yarns for the Stella quilt cushion, and then they'll leak into other projects, I'm sure, because I'll have too much of it. Yeah, I'm really excited to see how that all works out. I know that Elena will be thrilled. She'll love them. So, and then I have 3 more skeins that I bought for different things. So the first one is this green mini skein from Thought to Thread. Just a 20 gram skein of, oh, it doesn't even say. I think it was merino. I think this was merino. But this is for my friend Ren, so I'm going to give it to her on Wednesday when I go see her, with the 2 stickers that I bought her as well. And she's a crocheter, but I thought this would be really cute. I think this is her favorite color, this kind of moss, or not moss, fern-ish green. So I think she'll really enjoy that. And she could knit like a little bandana or something. I don't know. Her and I and another friend are going to a provincial park together on Saturday for the day out, and we're going to go canoe on the lake. And I just thought it would be really cute if she wanted to like work on a little, I don't know, adventure bandana or something like that on the way down to the provincial park, or even in the canoe, because there's only two paddles, so we have to kind of take turns between the 3 of us who's going to row. Yeah, and then I bought 2 more skeins for a little bit of a wild card. I don't know. They were calling to me. I wanted something with them. I didn't know what it was. It could be for my daughter. It could be for me. It could be for my husband. I don't know. I just bought them. So the first one is UT Yarn Mellow Fingering. (100% merino wool, super soft. It's got such beautiful variations in this yarn. I can't wait to see how this works up into whatever I decide it'll work up into. I love this yellow. There's a bit of orange in there and a bit of green. It's just all of the colors that are in this are like my perfect colors. I love it so much. So I don't know what I'm going to use it for, but I have promised that I will use it for something. It's not just going to be one of those like decorative skeins that sit there and I'm going to be too scared to use it. I will use it. And then the last skein that I bought, which is actually the last skein that I bought before I left the marketplace and said goodbye to Flock, was this from Ampersand Fibers. And I'm pretty sure Ampersand Fibers it's the Mercerie brand, I'm pretty sure. So this one is a fingering, and the skeins that I bought for myself are both fingering because that's my preferred weight to work with when I don't know what I'm doing and I'm just doing whatever. So this is the Caslin fingering, 100% US Corriedale. I don't know the colorway. I don't think it says. Anyway, it's this beautiful deep red. And I thought it would be really nice to knit something for like Christmas. Maybe like a sort of scarf or like mini shawl kind of situation. I really like this deep red in the wintertime. I love this color. But I don't ever wear red normally in other seasons. I just feel like it's a winter color. So something wintry, I think, with this color. But that was the last skein, the last thing that I bought at Flock Fiber Festival. That was my haul. I spent $450 US on all the things that I bought. So it was more in Canadian. It hurt a little bit more in Canadian, but it was under the budget of what I had saved for myself for Flock. Yeah, I just wanted to say the price for like full disclosure that these kinds of events are not inexpensive. They are expensive, and there's a lot of pressure. I feel like there's a lot of pressure pressure that we place on ourselves to like buy a lot of things. And so it helped me to go in with a plan, but I did still spend a lot of money. So I just wanted to be upfront with that. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining along. I hope if you went to Flock this year or last year, I hope you had an amazing time. Next year, I hope to go again. I don't know if I'll be bringing my daughter and husband. Maybe I'll try to find someone I can go with. But yeah, I really enjoyed going. I thought it was beautiful. I'd never been like to something like this before. I've never been to a fiber festival or a knitting festival before. So it was such a beautiful blessing and privilege to be able to go. And thank you so much for everyone who has been watching my videos and who has been cheering me on and giving me tips. I've learned so much actually from just comments that people have left. So thank you for that. I have to say goodbye now because I just heard the garage open and my husband is home with my daughter, but thank you so much for watching, and I really appreciate everything that you bring to my channel. Okay,